My fiancé is cheating. A deep and magnetic voice slipped into Naomi's ears, causing a thin layer of goosebumps to instantly appear on her skin. Naomi was an audio enthusiast. She preferred a pleasant voice over an attractive appearance. However, the man sitting across from her on the sofa not only had a charming voice but also a decent appearance. Under the loose t-shirt, there was a faint outline of chest muscles, and beneath the athletic shorts were a pair of well-trained legs. The muscles were evenly distributed, giving the impression of long and powerful calves. Unfortunately, he wore a black mask, and a beige duckbill cap tightly pressed against his face, square glasses reflecting light, making it impossible for Naomi to see his features clearly. "Sir, may I ask for your name?" Naomi put on her professional smile. She didn't need to blindly follow the client's lead in this profession. The investigator holds the real control. Adam. "Mr. Adam, how did you learn about our services?" "A friend recommended." Naomi smiled, intending to inquire about the client who made the recommendation. Usually, clients who came through referrals were more trustworthy. However, unlike previous clients who willingly shared details, this man seemed reluctant to say more. "Mr. Adam, please tell me about your requirements." "I want to investigate if my fiancé is cheating." "No." Adam paused and continued, "She's definitely cheating. I want to know why she likes that man and what attracts her to him." "Understood." Naomi nodded, typing swiftly on her computer, fingers poised on the keyboard, waiting for more information. "That's all." "That's all?" Naomi looked surprised. Clients who came to her agency for evidence of infidelity usually had various requests, such as dealing with a third party, catching the cheater in the act, or even fabricating evidence for financial gain. Customizing services for different individuals was the core business of Naomi's team, and investigating infidelity evidence alone did not showcase their full capabilities. Naomi's hands moved away from the keyboard, fingers interlocked and placed on the table. She maintained her professional smile. "Mr. Adam, perhaps your friend did not provide you with a specific introduction to our range of services." Adam raised his hand, interrupting Naomi's speech. The Rolex Submariner on his wrist emitted an aura of wealth. "I don't need your follow-up services. I will pay the fee for discouraging, the third party, as per your standards." As he spoke, he took out a thick paper bag from the black LV Keepall beside him and placed it on the coffee table. The muscles on his forearm formed an attractive groove. "This is the deposit." "Exceptional." Naomi praised silently in her mind. "Please provide me with the basic information about your fiancée, especially her social media accounts." Adam adjusted his duckbill cap, and behind the square glasses were a pair of affectionate peach blossom eyes. "Her name is Caitlin." Unconsciously, Naomi's lower back straightened. Caitlin was the recently discussed internet celebrity, a former advertising model who, at the age of 24, married Evan, a 16-year-older investment bank tycoon. The scandal of being a third party arose due to Evan divorcing his previous wife and marrying Caitlin within 2 months. Caitlin had been the subject of much gossip and speculation. 10 years later, Caitlin and Evan divorced. Caitlin left with nothing, and onlookers enjoyed the sight of the third party gaining nothing. Unfazed, she opened her own social media accounts. Time left no traces on Caitlin's face, instead, it added a touch of charm. In front of the camera, she showcased landscapes, explained historical artifacts, tasted delicacies, and shared her latest favorite items. Her social media platforms recorded traces of her love for life. The tide gradually turned. From a shallow third party facing public condemnation, she transformed into a sophisticated lady, quickly accumulating a loyal fan base. She founded her own e-commerce platform, leveraging the trend of live streaming. In a single live broadcast, her transaction volume exceeded 50 million. Caitlin turned herself into the protagonist of a delightful story. More and more people liked her, and rumors about her increased. Her affair partner is Alex. Naomi's heart shook. This was the recently popular internet celebrity, portraying the boyfriend persona, accurately attracting a wave of female fans, accumulating 5 million followers in just a year. She couldn't believe Caitlin would be interested in this type, considering her ex-husband was the alpha wolf among wolves. Mr. Adam rose from the sofa, lifting the LV Keepall on his shoulder and putting his hand in his pocket, a posture effortlessly turning into a set of commercial ads. "I'll send you the places Caitlin frequents later. I hope you can tell me the results in a month." "No problem." Naomi closed her computer and stood up from the sofa. 1 month was more than enough time. "I want to know what makes that man better than me." Mr. Adams' tone was low and resentful. Naomi raised an eyebrow slightly. She often heard this statement from the mouths of wealthy ladies. Now, it came from a well-shaped young man, making her feel a bit absurd. The one who cheated was clearly at fault, yet they gained the power of speech and became emotional judges, using countless standards to determine why the other half lost. A single statement was enough for a family's lesson. But, in the past, men were the emotional judges, and now women were also emerging. Miss Caitlin will find your merits. Naomi comforted in a standard tone, a phrase she had said hundreds of times. Mr. Adam remained silent. Naomi didn't know whether his expression behind the mask was one of joy or sorrow. Perhaps, he chuckled bitterly. Naomi extended her hand. Pleasure working with you. Pleasure working with you. Naomi opened Alex's social media platform. The age displayed was 21, a common practice among internet celebrities to portray themselves as younger. Below 20 seemed too naive and inexperienced in love, while above 25 had the aura of having seen it all. The ideal range was between 20 and 25, with some understanding but not too much, easy to flirt with, and enjoyable for viewers to reward. Naomi scrolled through several videos. She couldn't deny that Alex's appearance was captivating. Sword-like eyebrows, a high nose bridge, thin lips, a crisp jawline, a handsome and cool demeanor that could wound hearts. Yet, he had a pair of slightly drooping peach blossom eyes, innocent and unknowing, gazing at the camera. The extreme contradiction brought about frenzied admiration. The comments section for Alex was filled with suggestive remarks. Naomi raised an eyebrow, unable to guess Caitlin's feelings after seeing the comments. At that moment, a new message popped up on her phone. Mr. Adams sent Caitlin's schedule. Without detailed examination, Naomi forwarded it to the team's ace investigator, Tristan. In less than 2 seconds, Naomi received a voice message. She chuckled helplessly and decided to open it. On the other end, Tristan's familiar slogan resonated, full of enthusiasm: breaking up a couple is a couple. Tristan next door is on the case. Tristan would shout this slogan every time she received a task, conveying her passion for the job even through the phone. Tristan was her code name. Originally a studio photographer, Tristan had handled many photo shoots for couples, honing her discerning eyes. With just a couple's photo, she could judge how far their relationship could go. Once, while gossiping in the bathroom with a colleague about a newly photographed couple, she accidentally let slip that the groom was definitely cheating. Unexpectedly, the bride in the adjacent stall overheard. The bride immediately checked the groom's phone and was surprised to find he had 3 WeChat accounts, all with numerous female contacts. The bride, hailing from the top-ranked Northeast in female combat power, promptly broke the groom's nose with her phone upon the discovery. The groom sought compensation from the photography studio, and Tristan naturally lost her job as the photographer. Coincidentally, on the day Tristan gossiped in the bathroom, Naomi was also handling another case in the bathroom. A talent like her, Naomi wouldn't miss. In the chaos, Naomi handed her a business card with a smile. In the bathroom, everything can be flushed away through the drain, except gossip, which flows into the listener's ears. Come work for me, but don't make this mistake. She smoothly joined the team, and Naomi let her choose a code name. In this profession, protecting one's privacy was crucial. After some thought, a mischievous smile appeared on the baby-faced Tristan, and she earnestly said, "Tristan from next door," shortened to Tristan. Naomi and Tristan collaborated well. Tristan handled on-site investigations of the target's every move, while Naomi took charge of online investigations into their social behaviors. In the real and virtual worlds, they could piece together a complete picture of a person. Naomi stretched her neck, opened her computer, and launched the program to crawl through all the text and images posted by Alex and Caitlin. 1 week later, Naomi looked at the 2 photos Tristan sent on the screen and fell into contemplation. One was of Caitlin with a well-dressed, scholarly-looking man. The man was on one knee, slipping a large square-cut diamond ring onto her left ring finger, and she smiled tenderly at him. It seemed the proposal was successful. The other photo captured Alex tightly embracing Caitlin, tears on his face, and holding an empty velvet ring box in his hand. Caitlin hugged him back, hands firmly attached to his broad back, and on her left ring finger, a heart-shaped diamond ring caught attention under a high-powered lens. 2 men proposed to Caitlin, and it seemed she accepted both. Naomi zoomed in on the diamond rings in the photos, one square-cut, the other heart-shaped, both looking quite valuable. She recalled the data analysis of Caitlin's social media accounts during this period. A wealthy woman with many ambiguous relationships. What seemed like life insights shared were, in reality, expressions of love to multiple ambiguous partners. Each ambiguous partner received an equal distribution of love, except for the two people in the photos. Judging by height and physique, both men surprisingly matched, and Caitlyn seemed to favor this type. However, one was a newly emerging internet celebrity, and the other was a rising star in investment banking. Their backgrounds were different, with no apparent intersection, and their personalities were vastly different. Naomi's mouse slid back and forth between the two diamond rings. She couldn't analyze whom Caitlyn loved more. If polyandry were legally allowed, both men would be winners. But this was clearly not the result Mr. Adam wanted. Naomi sent her a voice message, "I'll join you on the next operation." So, Caitlyn, whom do you love more? Caitlyn really knows how to enjoy the best of both worlds, not favoring one over the other. She met Adam last week and now comes to see Alex this week. It's like she's traveling back to ancient times to become an emperor, where even the concubines can't compete. Tristan exclaimed while holding a high-powered telescope and munching on a jianbing. Naomi stood by another window, holding the same model of telescope, watching the intimate interaction between Caitlyn and Alex in the opposite apartment building. 2 weeks ago, they had found this perfect observation point in this old building, with this room directly facing Alex's apartment. Luckily, Alex moved to a new place last month and wasn't used to drawing the curtains, allowing them to observe the couple's behavior at all times. "Hey hey hey!" Tristan suddenly exclaimed, seeing Alex kneeling in front of Caitlyn, hugging her and nuzzling his head against her waist, acting affectionate. "Looks like a dog." Tristan took a big bite of the jianbing, eyes filled with envy. Recently, this type of milk dog boyfriend is trending, specially tailored for older sisters. "Hey, Naomi, when can we also have this kind of happiness?" Naomi shook her head, saying helplessly, "After dealing with so many cheating men in this business, do you still want happiness from men? Be careful, playing with fire can lead to self-burning." "But Alex seems really devoted. I haven't seen any other women around him," Tristan argued, confident in her own poisonous eyes. Over the years, she had never made a mistake in identifying whether couples were cheating. Stuffing her cheeks with jianbing, Tristan said defiantly, observing Alex for so many days, "I'm starting to believe in love." The crumbs from the jianbing sprayed out of her mouth. Naomi fanned her nose, saying irritably, in a confined space, "Can you not eat something with such a strong smell? It's affecting my monitoring." Sorry. Tristan tightly closed her lips, slowing down her breathing. Naomi's monitoring was actually lip reading. When Tristan first entered the field, she thought Naomi was like a Bond girl, sneaking into people's homes at night to install bugs. Naomi gave her a disdainful look, telling her that breaking into someone's home was illegal, and those in this business were law-abiding citizens. Lip reading wasn't illegal, it was called legal monitoring. With Alex facing away from the camera, Naomi had to focus the high-powered telescope on Caitlyn's mouth, bringing it closer and enlarging it. She followed the movements of Caitlyn's lips, translating each word, "Be good, I'll come to see you tomorrow. I have to go to work now." "No. Behave. Clients are waiting for me. If you delay me again, I won't love you anymore." "Alright. Bye, love you." Caitlyn is leaving. Tristan sighed, even the affectionate petting of a milk dog can't keep her. "Our sister who's building her career is truly charming. Hey, do you think our client Adam might leave her? Unfortunately, the security protection at his place is too good, we can't observe him." Tristan's gossip-loving heart flared up, looking excitedly at Naomi. Naomi, holding the telescope, had a serious expression, her usual look when she detected a problem. "What's wrong?" Tristan put away her gossiping heart. "Alex also has a Rolex Submariner on his wrist." "Oh, this watch has been popular lately. Maybe Caitlyn gave him one as a gift." Tristan casually bit into her jianbing. "Yeah." Naomi made a basic judgment about Alex's situation. "Adam just sent a message, he's on a business trip tonight, and Caitlyn will go to the airport to see him off. Let's go check it out." Naomi recognized Caitlyn at a glance. Sitting in the airport cafe, Caitlyn wore a black long-sleeved off-the-shoulder knit sweater that accentuated her snow-white shoulders. A gold shark clip pinned up her voluminous curly hair, with a few shorter strands cascading gracefully by the edges of her mask, adding a touch of enchantment. Her slender willow-like eyes were gazing affectionately at Adam, and the slightly raised crow's feet indicated her good mood. Adjusting her baseball cap and holding a coffee cup, Naomi casually sat not far from them. As soon as Adam spoke, Naomi was slightly taken aback, her eyes involuntarily focusing on him. Caitlin, I'm sorry, I have to go on a business trip again. Adam held Caitlin's snowy left hand, his eyes filled with apologies. It's okay. I understand your work. Caitlin's voice was understanding and lacked any pretense of being overly mature. Are you still angry? Adam lightly stroked her ring finger. Otherwise, why would you take off the engagement ring? Caitlin gently withdrew her left hand, placing it on her petite chin, saying softly, No, I just need some time to think. Adam maintained the posture of holding his hand up, leaning forward even more, his eyes full of longing. Caitlin, I'm different from your ex-husband. Caitlin squinted her eyes, index finger gently placed in front of her mask, her voice coquettish, Shoo, let's not talk about him. But, Adam sighed deeply, I don't understand why you hesitate. Is it because I haven't given you enough security? Haven't I shown enough love to you by proposing? Caitlin's gaze shifted to the highway outside the floor-to-ceiling window. The cars moved swiftly, maintaining a safe distance between them. It seemed orderly, but every driver knew that, despite having airbags, there was no absolute safety. Marriage was no different. You need to go through security. Caitlin stood up, giving Adam a kiss through the mask. I'll give you an answer when you come back from your business trip next week. Naomi lifted her baseball cap, gazing at the couple against the wall, understanding the situation in her heart. A month passed quickly. Mr. Adam arrived at Naomi's studio as scheduled, wearing a black t-shirt, light blue jeans, a beige baseball cap, square glasses, and a black mask that tightly covered his face. He seemed cautious not to reveal any details. How did it go? Adam elegantly crossed one thigh over the other, hands casually resting on his knee. Naomi dimmed the lights, turned on the projector, and subtly glanced at his left hand. Aside from the green Submariner watch, there were no other accessories. Naomi moved the presentation to the photos of Alex successfully proposing to Caitlin. Mr. Adam, as you mentioned, Miss Caitlin did indeed have an affair, and the person involved is Alex. Recently, he also proposed to Miss Caitlin. Naomi couldn't discern Adam's emotions. Raising an eyebrow, she shifted the presentation to the photos of Adam successfully proposing to Caitlin. Mr. Adam's lean body tensed as he sat up from the sofa, his crossed legs clinging nervously to the floor. He lifted his hat slightly, and his peach blossom eyes stared fixedly at the photo. Naomi smirked. Mr. Adam also proposed to Miss Caitlin. Adam seemed not to have heard Naomi's words, completely immersed in the photo. Naomi took a bottle of Evian water from the fridge, closed the door to the rest area beside the fridge, and handed the water to him. Mr. Adam? Mr. Adam? Adam snapped back to reality. He glanced at Naomi and took the Evian water with the slender neck of the bottle. Oh, thank you. Naomi didn't let go. She tightly held the bottom of the glass bottle, her eyes fixed on the peach blossom eyes across from her. She maintained her professional smile. Or should I call you Mr. Alex? Right, Mr. Alex? Adam was momentarily stunned, then the corners of his peach blossom eyes curved up. He withdrew his hand, removed his hat, glasses, and pulled down his mask. It was Alex's face. Alex smiled. How did you find out? Naomi handed the Evian water again, her gaze shifting to the green Submariner on Alex's left wrist. You really like this watch, don't you? Alex took it, raised his wrist, and his tone softened. Yes, Caitlin gave it to me. I've never seen Adam wear it. Alex showed a smug expression. Well then. He tilted his head, half closed his eyes, and said, But, Miss Naomi, solely based on this seems a bit hasty. Naomi shrugged, raising her hands. I'm an audio enthusiast. From the moment Adam spoke the first word, I knew he wasn't my client, Mr. Adam. Unfortunately, you never went on a date with Miss Caitlin this past month. Otherwise, all you had to do was ask, and we wouldn't have needed to go through the trouble of finding out who our real client is. Fortunately, we found Miss Caitlin's alternate account and discovered she purchased a Submariner 2 months ago, a watch that only you have. Alright. Alex pouted slightly. His innocent peach blossom eyes looked at Naomi, as if exposing the truth was betraying him. This side of Alex's demeanor was something Naomi and Tristan had seen many times through the high-powered binoculars. Tristan fell for it every time, hormones skyrocketing, blushing, wishing she were Caitlin herself. Naomi stared into his eyes, showing no shyness or retreat. Did you move to a new house for the convenience of our observation of you and Caitlin? Yes. Alex smiled candidly. So, have you figured out the reason? Why does Caitlin like me? Naomi was full of questions, unable to fathom the thoughts of the man before her. In the 5 years of running this studio, she had investigated mistresses for wives, mistresses investigating ex-wives, wealthy women investigating gigolos, and even rich men investigating their own mistresses and paramours, checking if they were secretly supporting other gigolos. Everyone was monitoring someone else. Except for Alex, who turned the surveillance inward. Naomi was filled with curiosity. She retrieved a transparent folder from the drawer, raising it to reveal a thick report and a stack of photos featuring Caitlin, Alex, and Adam. Seeing the folder, Alex restrained his smile, his expression turning serious. In our line of work, client trust is crucial. Naomi placed the folder back on the table and took out a thick paper bag from the drawer, placing it on the desk. It contained the deposit Alex had given her. You need to tell me why you're investigating yourself. Otherwise, we'll consider ourselves powerless in this case. After uttering these words, Naomi's fingers trembled beneath the table due to excitement. She desperately wanted to know the truth. Alex's presence had challenged her understanding of human nature, and she feared he might not be willing to disclose the information. Alex lowered his gaze, plunging into silence. Just as Naomi was on the verge of surrender, he lifted his eyelids, and his peach blossom eyes were as deep as a dark pool. I want to become a qualified mistress. Caitlin's anniversary gift to Alex was a Rolex Submariner Hulk. Somehow, overnight, all men seemed to take pride in owning this green watch, showcasing this hard-earned touch of green on various occasions. The taboo surrounding the color green that had persisted for centuries now seemed to have vanished. Evan, Caitlin's ex-husband, recently appeared in the latest financial news, proudly displaying the Rolex Submariner Hulk on his wrist. Caitlin found it amusing. Her ex-husband had never allowed anything green on himself before. He used to say, wearing green is bad for a man's feng shui. If the wife cheats, stocks plummet. Now, he seemed to have abandoned his concerns about feng shui. Caitlin managed to secure one for Alex with the help of a friend working at a high-end boutique. In the privacy of an exclusive Western restaurant, she presented it to him. Happy anniversary, Caitlin said, pushing the gift toward Alex. Alex was overjoyed. He knew how difficult it was to acquire this watch. Eagerly, he put it on, handing his phone to Caitlin to capture the moment of his excitement. Caitlin found the perfect angle, not focusing solely on the watch but letting Alex casually tuck it into his pocket, revealing half of the dial, enough for fans to notice. She watched the screen, satisfied, as she continuously pressed the shutter to capture her work. With peach blossom eyes gleaming, Alex pulled Caitlin into his arms, and the camera frame rotated to capture both of them. Rather than showcasing the watch, he wanted to display her. Caitlin, let's make it official, Alex proposed. Caitlin covered the front camera with her hand, speaking softly, you know I have a boyfriend. Her tone was as casual as asking the waiter for more water. Alex hesitated for a moment, then gently tightened his embrace, ensuring not to wrinkle her meticulously ironed silk dress. I just want to be with you. Aren't we together now? Caitlin lightly tapped Alex's arm. His arm slackened, and she took out her phone, scrolling for a moment. There's a domestic brand looking for an endorsement from influencers. Their manager recently asked me to recommend someone suitable. I've recommended you. Remember to check it out. Opening WeChat, Alex saw a new contact request. He sighed, another resource introduction. Caitlin raised an eyebrow playfully. In the past, when you actively sought resources, I provided them, and you were happy. Now that I actively give them, you're not happy? Alex muttered, maybe I've become greedy. Caitlin had a boyfriend, a well-known fact in their circle, yet he still harbored feelings for her. Caitlin had abundant resources, e-commerce, live streaming, and more, not to mention offline investments in vineyards and art galleries, accumulating a vast network for her. If she wished, she could propel anyone to stardom. Alex wasn't the first man to develop feelings for her, but he was the only one to receive the same treatment as her legitimate boyfriend. Alex didn't know why. Caitlin simply told him, because you're special. The term special condensed many images, and Alex initially didn't care. The beginning of this relationship was a contractual agreement, one person providing money, the other providing charm. The only difference was that the purchaser of his charm had changed from a fan to Caitlin. Later, Alex discovered that Caitlin was different from his fans. Alex attached himself to his fans, converting each fan's preferences into precise monetary gains. He tailored his image to suit their preferences, playing the domineering CEO for a while, shifting to the pitiful second male lead at times, and then becoming the campus heartthrob. Caitlin didn't need him to play a role. Just be yourself, you're special, she told him. From then on, he acted cute, didn't hide his desires, asked her for resources, and requested luxury items. Caitlin readily accepted, and Alex became increasingly authentic. He entrusted his career to Caitlin's team, entrusted his lifeline to her, and entrusted his heart to her. He clung to her. The only thing he didn't know was what made him special. He felt uneasy and anxious. Caitlin didn't hear his concerns. "I probably won't be able to spend the entire anniversary with you today." "Okay," Alex pretended to be understanding. He knew Caitlin was retreating. His previous statement had shattered the contractual nature of their relationship. How could a mistress transition to a legitimate partner? Only a qualified mistress could. "Mr. Alex, forgive me for being presumptuous. In my view, your dependence on Miss Caitlin seems a bit excessive. Aren't you afraid of having nothing if she abandons you one day?" Naomi's voice was full of mockery as she walked to the refrigerator again, took out a bottle of water, and leaned against the door frame of the resting area. "That's why I need you all." Alex looked at Naomi. "Since I could be replaced at any time, why not constantly improve myself? When I know what she likes, make efforts to get close to what she loves, naturally irreplaceable. What's the use of worrying and being afraid?" Naomi smiled slightly, obtaining the answer she wanted. She placed the folder in front of Alex, opened the thick report containing information on both Adam and Caitlin, and Alex and Caitlin. "You also investigated Adam?" Alex picked up one of the reports with a puzzled expression. "To thoroughly understand why Miss Caitlin would be attracted to you, we need to know why she would also be drawn to Adam. It's a war, know yourself, know your enemy, and you won't be defeated, right?" Naomi explained. Alex nodded, smiling, and casually pushed the report about Adam aside, focusing his attention on studying the report about himself. He had no interest in Caitlin's legitimate boyfriend. "Based on our 1-month investigation, you are very qualified," Naomi continued. Alex's gaze didn't leave the report, and a smug smile appeared on his face. "Although we can't precisely define what Miss Caitlin meant by 'you're special,' the information here includes what activities with Adam and Caitlin would make her happy. I think this information is more useful to you than deciphering a concept." "Yes." Alex raised his peach blossom eyes. "I am satisfied with your service." Naomi continued leaning against the door frame, smiling quietly, observing Alex's reactions. Soon, Alex's phone rang. He picked it up, his face showing a gentle expression. "It's Caitlin, she wants to eat the seafood I'll cook tonight." "Congratulations." Naomi courteously extended her fist. Alex took out 2 thick leather paper bags from his briefcase, filled with cash. "This is the final payment." He stood up. "I need to go to the gym. I have to keep myself in the best condition." Naomi, with a slightly envious look, watched him. "Mr. Alex, your self-discipline is truly admirable." In the past month, Naomi and Tristan had discovered that he was extremely strict in managing his physique, waking up at 6:30 every day to exercise and avoiding fried and puffed foods. This led to Tristan giving up his favorite breakfast, jianbingguozi. Alex waved his hand, and Naomi opened the door for him, escorting him into the elevator. She maintained her professional smile until the elevator doors slowly closed before retracting it. Naomi returned to the studio, wiping away the professional smile, replacing it with another smile, and then pushed open the door. "Miss Caitlin, did you hear that? What do you think of Mr. Alex?" At this moment, Caitlin was sitting in the position Alex had just vacated, taking the water Tristan handed to her. She had listened attentively to Alex's words with Tristan in the resting area just now. "He's very good. I chose him." Caitlin took out a heart-shaped diamond ring from her Birkin bag and put it on the middle finger of her left hand, seemingly hinting at some future commitment. Naomi's gaze was fixed on the diamond ring. It was the engagement ring Alex had given to Caitlin. "Don't you want to reconsider?" Tristan suddenly spoke. Although he didn't cheat, he's too scheming. She couldn't hold back. She had heard Alex's words with Caitlin behind the door just now, making her feel a chill in her heart. Caitlin laughed, a hint of subtle sadness hidden in her smile. "But don't you think I'm scheming too? After all, I used you all." At that time, she was not like this. Caitlin, still in college, with her beautiful appearance and a tall figure of 1.7 meters, was making a name for herself in the advertising industry. On that day, she was shooting a soda commercial, and to highlight the refreshing feeling after drinking the soda, the models were required to make a cool and refreshing expression. However, Caitlin was tripped and obstructed by an actor with a higher status. The director repeatedly called cut, scolding her for being unprofessional. The entertainment industry is a world where people follow the trend, and no one would stand up to support her. But she didn't cry or make a scene, just holding back tears, her nose turning red, carefully avoiding behind that actor who was glaring at her. Evan stood behind the director, watching her with interest. When Caitlin finished shooting, Evan walked over, greeted her, and she looked at the actor who was glaring at her, not knowing how to respond to Evan. "She dares not bully me," Evan laughed. "My status is higher than hers." Caitlin burst into laughter, full of youthful exuberance. Seeing the girl happy, Evan continued, "Although she is not as good-looking as you, her status is higher than yours. Do you know why?" Caitlin shook her head in confusion. "She has a backer, you don't." Later, they exchanged contact information. Evan often recommended resources to her, took her to meet advertisers and investors. Soon, she became a popular advertising model and even got resources for a supporting role in movies released in theaters. For Evan, working day and night, maintaining constant competition, even the strongest vitality would be exhausted one day. Caitlin could make him relax his guard. He liked teaching her the ways of the world, watching her grow day by day, as if sculpting a work of art. Then, he would exhibit her and enjoy the admiration of others, ensuring his vitality continued. He had sculpted many works, and Caitlin was just one of them. Until he divorced and Caitlin proposed to marry him. She admired this man and understood that everything she had was given by him. He could give, and he could take away. Only by becoming husband and wife could she secure him firmly. She competed with many works, hired private detectives to investigate why Evan liked those women. She even went to business school to make connections with celebrities, bridging the gap for his career, all to become a qualified wife. Evan said, "Among these women, only you are willing to go to great lengths for me." In the end, she signed a prenuptial agreement and became Evan's wife as she wished. She gave up her career, as being an advertising model was not respectable in Evan's circles. She thought being a virtuous wife and mother was what Evan wanted. And so, she lived like this for 10 years. Evan brought back another woman, a popular actress with a proud and domineering aura. She had heard Evan say that this woman had helped him with a lot of business using her fame, just like she did in the past. "Divorce, you are not helpful to my career." She was kicked out and got nothing from the divorce. Back then, she had signed a prenuptial agreement. So much effort, yet she still suffered a defeat. She was not a qualified wife, let alone a qualified mistress. Perhaps the prerequisite for not being abandoned was to become Evan, to make others depend on oneself. She made a comeback, returned to the spotlight, and her fame surpassed her past. Wealth and power attracted many men, all wanting to be under her control. Caitlin scrutinized them, just as Evan had observed her coldly in the past. In the end, she chose two malleable works, Alex and Adam. The former was a public lover, and the latter was a hidden reliance. Both attached themselves to her in both career and emotions. They both wanted to be her only one. She baited them separately. She casually revealed information about the two detective agencies. Alex met Naomi, and Adam went to the other one. She wanted these two men to walk the path she had once walked. Who would be willing to go to great lengths for her? Who would be the qualified one? After a month, she walked into Naomi's studio. Even though Naomi and Tristan had seen many bizarre things, it was not as shocking as Caitlin's move, praying mantis catching cicadas, yellow sparrows behind. Caitlin handed over a check, twice the amount Alex had paid. Finally, "Please ask him for me. If one day I abandon him, how will he react?" This sentence was a test and a reflection of her past. In the end, she became Evan. Naomi raised the valuable check and smiled, saying, "Miss Caitlin, giving money is not manipulation, not giving money is." "I'm just curious, why did Adam get eliminated?" Tristan nodded excitedly. In her mind, Alex, the boyfriend who was like a loyal dog, had fallen from grace and shattered into pieces of fantasy. A man not cheating is not a trait worth boasting about. Caitlin picked up the square-shaped diamond ring that Adam had given her from her bag and said with a smile, "He found out about Alex's existence from another source and tried to use it as leverage to marry me." Tristan stared at the extremely luxurious ring, almost speechless. This is too. Caitlin looked at Tristan with a clear intention. "Since both men are after my money, why not choose someone willing to go to great lengths for me?" With a clang, Caitlin casually threw the square diamond ring onto the table. The diamond collided with the wooden surface, producing a heart-pounding sound. She smiled gently and got her answer. "This is what makes a qualified mistress."